Texas.
Sometimes your arm falls off. There we go.
The people here define this state, but you can't put a singular definition on all of them. That would be like asking a musician to define their music. They hate that.
Your art will be seen.
For instance, is Justin Terveen a storm chaser? Is he a famous Dallas skyline photographer?
No, I can talk.
Or is he an explorer? Definitions.
I don't even drink coffee.
A dictionary definition of the people here would take more words and sentences
Hey everybody.
than the Texas countryside is wide.
This is it, what's left of it.
They're just as happy in a junkyard finding a lost love as they are gazing at a current one at the drive-in.
I have 4 of these.
Texans invent
And I love corn dogs.
and create, and they inspire all of us. So here's the deal. I tell their stories from the Panhandle south,
Coming to see Mike Castellucci. Move back.
and I do it differently. Non-traditional. I use only my iPhone entirely.
Oh, he's unpredictable.
That's why it's called phoning it in. It doesn't matter if it's in the city, on a trail, on the road, or in the middle of nowhere. Texans will share their inspiring stories with me, and I get to play it forward with you.
They all got a story to tell.
And it starts here. Sure, I tell stories on my phone. Imagine being able to tell stories on your shirt.
Morning, Anna. Morning.
Nice shirts.
Yeah, I'm a T-shirt storyteller. Don't uptown my deep ellum.
Don't uptown my deep. What does that mean?
Because deep ellum, it's all about edge.
I'm a storyteller too. I do everything on my iPhone. A few years ago, my boss came up to me and she said, "Hey, can you shoot a 2-minute story using only your phone?" I said, "I don't know, but I tried." And then taking everything to the extreme. I shot a half-hour special using only my phone, and then a second show, and then a third show, a fourth, and this is the 5th show.
Sometimes innovation doesn't mean acceptance by an industry.
Sounds like I wrote that.
So basically, this whole me and you conversation is really just a vehicle to get the important stories that Texans have to offer out there. Some of those stories might be serious, some might make you smile, but all of them are inspirational. I mean, gotta have a way to get you guys to tune in, otherwise you're gonna tune out.
Wait a minute.
Look,
Did you just...
I'm an actor. I used to be on One Life to Live.
So you're not a T-shirt storyteller?
You just don't get it, do you?
T-shirt storyteller, did you just change... What? You just changed... Did you just change... T-shirts?
I'm a storyteller. I tell stories on shirts.
I tell stories on my phone.
I used to...
He's on the road.
Here we are in beautiful Bellevue, Texas.
He's always
Sunset, Texas.
on the road.
40 or 50,000 miles.
He'll take a trip across northern Texas
That's the essence of chasing. It's paying for fuel and driving in circles.
from Dallas to the Panhandle, like most of us take trips to the grocery store.
Like south of Childress.
Justin Terveen has to hustle.
All right, that's what we're looking for. 13 seconds at F11.
2 seconds.
Clients pay for his originals, photographs that cover walls.
The level of detail is stunning.
Photographs like this one from White Sands, New Mexico that inspire a mood. But between commissions, Justin hopes to find the shot that will go viral. And that usually means searching and chasing storms in the middle of nowhere.
It's the fear of not being there to see it when it happens.
Chasing with, the infamous Justin Terveen, echo, echo.
It's a lot of waiting.
And I mean, we try not to waste a trip out here. I mean, it's a lot of gas and a lot of miles. And
I know how to work a door.
He wants to come away with something.
I'm game.
Remember that.
All right.
We'll get back to the road trip. It's a long one. If you've seen the Dallas skyline like this, or this,
Good place to watch storms, though.
Justin was behind the camera.
Got one for you. It's the City of Dallas logo there.
He loves this city.
Yeah, you can find beauty in just about anything if you look hard enough. So it's kind of a treat.
And sometimes the beauty comes to him.
Yeah, this is my rooftop. It's too bright.
Don't ask what drives him. or where his passion for photography comes from, well,
Is that in frame?
a big storm is creeping up his back.
I'm dying to know what's going on behind me. Is it killing me? Yes, it is. It's totally killing me. Lightning is one of nature's greatest trolls.
And now back to the middle of nowhere.
It's a chance meeting on the side of the road in Turkey, Texas.
The long trip chasing storms.
We'll have lunch and just kind of catch up with our lives and stuff.
10 hours on the road and on the side of it.
It's a storm. If it does continue to grow, then we'll make a play on it.
Justin would chase, but has to drive me back to Dallas, 6 hours away. I tell anyone who will listen, as a reporter, don't get in the way of a story. I'm pretty sure
That was pretty cherry.
I did.
I'd roll in an AMC Gremlin in Dallas.
About the time we ran across a restored AMC Gremlin, his friends, who he left 3 hours earlier, sent him a picture. A tornado, perfectly lit.
The glass doesn't quite line up like it used to, so air's getting in here and making a lot of noise.
No tornado this
Getting
time.
on my nerves.
Just the windstorm inside his truck thanks to a broken sunroof.
Watch, it won't make any difference. How ridiculous.
And a sunset stop along the way, just to appreciate it all. And that's what Justin is best at, appreciating. You can see it in his work.
I'm just here to share it with you. I want you to see this. This is my vision. This is my city. This is what I like about the city. And look at this pretty skyline.
So, you gonna buy a shirt?
I don't know. But I'm hungry.
Who doesn't love tacos?
Tacos is always a win. You shooting all this stuff on your phone is cute, but storytelling is storytelling, and I prefer to tell stories on my shirt.
Hey, do you think we can have an entire conversation about Texas towns just by looking at each other's torsos? Saxy, I get it. Garland. You know what's just north of Denton and east of Crum?
Crum.
There's a story there about love.
Life isn't always the tough challenges or the big decisions. Most of the time, it's made of
Wow.
what we experience every day.
And let me know if anything else, okay?
And remember forever. This story
They're cool.
is one of those.
It's just a gathering for people just to come up here and look at each other's cars.
And it starts sitting on a bench or a bucket seat.
That's another baby of the family.
We love our cars like family. But why?
I can't tell you. It sure brings back memories.
Maybe that's why. It's a Saturday night
All right, sir.
in Dallas, Texas,
Here we go.
at the drive-in.
And the total is $760. So yeah, this is what Saturdays look like here.
You get down, get depressed, not feeling well, jump in your car, ride around the block.
Life is full of twists and turns.
I feel like if I saw the current car I have now in here, I'd be very sentimental about it.
Up the road one day, Steve Eberhardt and his son Johnny took a turn off the highway. This junkyard beckoned.
And it was just such a fun day.
Steve mentioned the trip to his older brother.
But I used to take a lot of pictures.
Robert knew the place. It's where his first car wound up. We remember first.
Well, yeah, because I put it there. And I feel like I had it born and then I buried it, you might say.
Steve found one single picture of it.
Probably the only surviving picture of that car.
And that was 77 Cutlass Supreme. And I can still remember the order number on that car today. It was 21488.
And that's Robert right there.
Robert owned the car only a year.
And then I sold it to a lady in Pilot Point that was a school teacher.
18 years later, she sold it.
One afternoon, I saw it going down University Drive, and
Robert flags him down.
So I told the old boy, I said, if you want to sell that car, you let me know.
That's my mom.
More years go by.
I get a call from him, and he says, you still interested in that car?
Of course Robert is interested.
So I bought the car, and he gave me the title.
It's another chance for them to be together.
Every one of these cars has a story.
Robert never restored it. You remember saying goodbye to it 20 years ago at the same junkyard his brother Steve and nephew Johnny just visited.
We're looking for a 77 Cutlass
Today,
that I bought new in 1977.
he's on a quest to find it.
Right there with a white stripe on the side. There it is.
Little things have big meaning.
That's a VIN right there.
This is it, what's left of it.
Getting the chance to hold hands
I ordered
again.
it, drove it, sold it. Bought it back, sold it to Dave out here at the junkyard.
So I started selling parts off of it. That's what we do.
Who knows what memories are flooding back? Just seeing it.
So this is where we buried her. We just didn't throw no dirt on her. Right here in this spot.
This isn't much more than a love story that starts and ends in a junkyard.
She's held up pretty good for however many years.
But in life, it's the little things we never seem to forget.
Hello.
The stories that come from the people of Texas are endless, and I get the honor of telling some of them using only my phone.
Where'd you go?
Nowhere. I look at it this way. It's innovative to shoot an entire television show using only my phone. But like you said, innovation doesn't necessarily mean acceptance by an industry. Bottom line, technology changes, storytelling never will.
What size do you want?
And there it is. How do you do that?
You know what this is, Amber?
There's nothing quite like the house you grew up in.
Sweet memories.
It's a 45.
Amber knows,
It's a very small record.
visiting her mom today.
Well, this was Skip's office. It's now my office, or actually it's our family office, family business.
Finding stuff in the closets.
That's a pretty great picture.
Most everything reminds her of her dad.
It's my father's ring.
You just think we're all going to be around forever.
Gigi's husband and Amber's dad, Skip, loved the family business. They lost him a little over a year ago.
I know that this is all I've ever wanted to do my entire life.
They're taking it over.
Now, stepping in,
So my first experience with a 45.
even though the family is spread all over North Texas.
We have a large family.
This is it, folks. This is the place you've been looking for.
Like WC,
I like helping people.
patrolling out in Crandall.
You only get that combat V
His dad, Bill,
if you earn this medal under fire.
a retired Navy SEAL instructor and Vietnam veteran out in Heartland.
6 months with SEAL Team 1 and 3 months with UDT 13.
I do not only work 24 days a year.
That family
I have
business
a full-time job outside the fair.
brings all of them together for 24 days.
We work extra hard 24 days out of the year.
Right over here, right over here.
And chances are you know it well. And their last name,
That I've been getting mustard-colored nails.
Fletcher.
This is the home of the original Fletcher State Fair Corny Dog.
It overjoys me.
Oh, yes.
As in Fletcher's corny
I
dog.
lived up in Alaska for 16 years. I even ran into people up there that knew what Fletcher's corny dogs were.
That delightful, delectable corn-covered hot dog treat.
You've probably waited in this line at the State Fair of Texas. Just look at it. This is what waiting all year for something looks like.
Every year going to the state fair, it's an institution. Before you walk any further past Big Tex, you have to stop and get a Fletcher's Corny Dog. It's an annual ritual.
You might think the Fletchers have it made.
That was my grandfather, Neil Fletcher.
Amber's grandfather invents the corny dog, almost as famous as Big Tex himself.
It's been 80 years of one thing after another.
But the measure of this family reads like a recipe. Great success. Add inconceivable tragedy.
Just to kind of stir it up a little bit.
Blend. The family recipe for sticking together is a mixture of all that life has to offer.
I think it's good.
And I had a son, Rodney, and a few years later, Rodney was killed in an automobile accident when he was 17.
That batter has a binder. Love.
Later on, as in all families, you know, there's tragedies that happen, and we've lost the other two boys, you know, to different reasons.
Skip and Gigi adopted Amber and Aaron later in life,
It's who I am. It's my family.
So fortunate that we still have Aaron and Amber.
who now swim in uncharted territory.
This is something that, you know, I've really wanted for A lot of years.
Here you go, sweetie. Thank you so much.
A mobile Fletcher's trailer.
She's ready for her corn dog.
Open outside of fair time.
The Dallas institution that's brought joy to millions of people.
For 30 years, I watched my father run this company.
I think these are the best corn dogs I've ever had.
It's because of this big Texas family that, for some reason, we take pictures of ourselves with a Fletcher's, documenting our first stop, last stop, sad face in a long line to get one,
Mustard is the only
happy
way.
after,
Yeah.
really happy. We post artsy pics of the dog itself with just ketchup, just mustard, mustard and ketchup, or neither. At night, in the day, in the rain, baby's first Fletcher's, group shots, and after shots. It doesn't get much better than you, Big Tex, and a Fletcher's.
He loved it. I mean, he lived the fair.
They all miss Amber's dad, Skip.
There wasn't a day that went by where he didn't tell me how much he loved me and my brother and how beautiful I was. And
His dog, Cousteau, misses him terribly.
he'd ask every day, "Where's my dog?"
When the State Fair of Texas is quiet, the Fletchers are stirring
This spot down here is going to be the new fire station.
and rolling and grateful that their family tradition
She likes the stick.
is most likely yours, too.
She'll figure it out.
Oh, I think it's very serene and very tranquil.
Somehow.
It's got a nice charm to it.
A visitor from England found her way to it.
It'll be a nice trail, actually, just for like a nice evening stroll.
Whether you stroll on 4 feet or 2 or neither.
Oh, I've seen a lot of bicycles.
The White Rock Lake Trail, a 10-mile loop, is sort of a one ring around the lake circus act.
That's right. I never grew up, actually. So.
And every Tuesday and Thursday,
I consider myself a clown. I come down twice a week.
it's also home to this group,
And it comes with toast.
who start their morning not far away at Barbeck's restaurant.
Joking around, having a good time.
The perception is that something is wrong with these people.
Balance.
Not the breakfast part,
I mean, I'm lucky if I get out and do 20 miles, but these guys will do 20 miles before breakfast.
but after the eggs.
It's just
At their next stop,
it's just plain fun. That's all.
here at the lake, when they climb aboard,
I don't know how to explain it. I mean,
How is it today?
they're tricycles.
What?
Oh, tricycles, yes.
No.
Have you seen them?
Well, any way that people are getting out here exercising, it's fine with me, but I haven't seen them.
Probably back in the circus or something.
These clowns,
Well, I was number 3. I guess I'm 2 now.
they call themselves that, ride trikes around the lake,
That irritates some of them.
which is enough for cyclists
Well,
with one less wheel to
I don't know.
peddle some nastiness.
Way some of them are.
There's prejudice among cyclists, among people who ride recumbents. I don't know why.
Well, there's got to be something wrong with Daniel Schaff or Jay Gorman, or maybe they're just ahead of their time. Like in Lancaster, where they sell these Cadillacs of trikes,
Some of them are very much like a Cadillac.
where they've changed their name from John's Bikes
It used to be John's Bicycles.
to John's Trikes and Bikes.
You can still find performance, or you can find comfort, or both.
So maybe.
I get on here and I ride around White Rock Lake.
It's the dogs that we get the funniest looks from.
The only thing that's wrong with these tricyclists is that they've had enough of the bicycle. They're not everywhere yet.
No tricycles.
Not one trike.
Around the lake?
But rollerblades must have been odd at first. So the clowns could be pioneers.
It's just plain fun for me.
Who find bigger benefits beyond exercise.
I was much a loner most of my life, and when I joined this group, it really brought me out.
Out and rolling.
A great fun.
With a smile.
Being with people.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at White Rock Lake.
I think you're recording.
Oh, man, imagine if this was film, how much that would cost. Even pictures. Do you remember pictures where you used to go down to the drugstore and wait a week until they'd come back, like this right here? Look at this. This is Camp Jabo G, and, well, it's a little blurry.
Remember when we actually used to use telephones to talk to people?
No.
Yeah, no. It's like, what? Who does that?
Hey, remember when we used to go to Woolworth and buy 45 records? But 45 records wouldn't play in the car, so we got a big suitcase of 8-track tapes.
Okay, you're losing me.
I may be a little older. I'll just take this one and this one.
It's a limited run of one.
A light went off in Dan Bradley a long time ago.
We're heading to the warehouse now.
He figured.
Really long drive, about 2.5 blocks.
If he worked hard with a positive attitude,
Started my first company at 14.
he could do anything in life.
So this is the warehouse.
Even make t-shirts for a living.
That's the mindset, of this culture is, you're 37 and you're selling t-shirts? Is everything okay?
In Lowest Greenville, next to an old favorite, Dan found this new space, a storefront for his marketing business. Check it out.
So I've been an entrepreneur my whole life.
He thought he'd sell a few t-shirts too, just for fun.
2 months in, I had to get rid of my marketing company because this took off so quickly.
This is Bullzerk.
So we were living out in Vail, Colorado, and my wife was cold. So we said, why not Texas?
4 years in, they've opened 8 stores, constantly hanging new t-shirt art, like here in the Dallas Farmers Market.
Tacos is always a win.
Oh my gosh, tacos is super, super, super popular.
This is all new for Dan's wife, Carrie, too, who wore lab coats, not t-shirts.
I never fully liked my job as a pharmacist, but this is very, very different. So I'm learning.
All we do is give each other a hard time and think of funny stuff and put it on a t-shirt. It's kind of the dream job.
Hyper-local t-shirts with messages that hit home. And if you live north of the 635 in Dallas...
So this was created for, the true Dallas side.
Maybe hitting a little too close to home.
I love the suburbs.
Can you read it before it crawls into the dryer? It says, I'm sure some stuff happens north of 635.
But I don't want to go there.
They address where you live and the stereotypes that come with it.
I live inside 635.
All in good fun, Pleasant Grove. Well, it sure sounds nice. Bullzerk is like a bakery. They make the product here.
Matt's been with us for 4 years now.
Create, print, and screen in 2,500 square feet, all by hand.
I have a desire to learn, and I want to perfect everything I do.
I should be blogging.
Dan even wanted to take over this interview with his wife.
So what is it like to be married to a t-shirt owner?
Well, as you would like to say, my favorite thing about myself is...
We can all learn a little something with Dan's approach to life. He'd rather put a smile...
So the one that really runs the store. I just show up and smile.
...on someone's face.
Right, Matt?
Than sell a shirt.
Jeez, you are so talkative this morning.
His real business is simple. Finding connection with someone else.
You love the camera, don't you? This business is not about making money. Ask people how they're doing and put a smile on their face and find something that you have in common with them. And that's it.
Life perspective from a t-shirt storyteller.
Texans. They're high-tech.
Voila.
Low to the ground.
Some people might be able to figure it out.
Explorers and creators.
It's all about edge
And even if they're just helping me introduce someone else's story,
I lost it!
they know how to have a good time with that, too. Their stories inspire all of us.
Adds to the beauty of them.
Caught entirely on my iPhone. That's why it's called Phoning It In.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. This is a recording.